Hey everyone, welcome to the Knit and Crochet Spot. My name is Melissa and I'm coming to you from the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. Today is Friday, February 17th. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've done my last video sharing my finished objects and works in progress. And so that's what this video is today. I have 2 finished objects and 5 works in progress to share with you. I have a lot of works in progress at the moment, but I'm only going to show you 5 because some of the other ones don't have much done to them, so there won't be really much to show. So I'm just going to show 5 for today. And then I also have a tiny bit of acquisitions to share with you. It's just 1 skein of yarn, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. So let's get started with finished objects. I have 2, and the first one is a dishcloth, and this dishcloth is by the Kitchen Sink Shop, and on Instagram. I found her on Instagram and I signed up for the newsletter, so that means once a month a dishcloth pattern gets sent to your email address. And then you knit at least 1 dishcloth a month. There's a new pattern every month. So this month it was called the Linder Cookie Dishcloth. And here it is. Here it is. And then also this year, every dishcloth pattern also comes with a cookie pattern. A cookie recipe. So here is the Linder Cookie Dishcloth by the Kitchen Sink Shop, and I'll link all that down below. So there it is, and you know, it's for Valentine's Day, so there's a heart, and I used red yarn, and the yarn that I used is, I love this cotton and the colorway red, and here it is. Here's the yarn. I love this cotton, and let's see, this is a worsted weight yarn. It is 100 grams, 180 yards, 100% cotton. It's a number 4, and the colorway is red. And the needles that I used for this were a 3.25 millimeter needle. So here is the washcloth for the month of February. It's very fast, very quick knit, and I don't know what I'll do with them. I don't necessarily, I don't really like knitted or crocheted washcloths to use them, or dishcloths. So I'll probably give these away to people that I know that do like to use them. All right, so there's that finished object. And then my second finished object is a hat. And this is the Gro Hat by Fiber Tales. And here it is. Here it is, and let's see, it is, the yarn I used is Drops Lima. Here it is. This is really old stash, and let's see, Drops Lima, and this is a wool and alpaca blend. Let's see, what's the blend, the percentages, 65% wool, 35% alpaca. And it is 50 grams for 109 yards. And I'm not sure yet. The color is 9020. And I got this on the Wool Warehouse website years ago. But it seems like, I don't really know if this is still available. It seems like it's such a, you know, this color probably would be available or something similar. So there's the yarn, and then here is the hat. And for this hat, I love it. I did a tubular cast on. See? I don't know if you can tell. And I absolutely love it. I'm seriously thinking about doing that for future hats, especially when you do a 1x1 rib. So the hat is, so here's the hat fully, and then it's got a folded up brim. I just love the edges of this cast on because it's so neat and tidy. So it's this hat is a little snug because it's not superwash and it has alpaca in it. It didn't really stretch when I blocked it. I don't know, I could try. I haven't really tried it on again, but it's a tiny bit snug, but I just love it. So there it is. And the needles, I used a 3.5 millimeter needle for the brim and then a 4 millimeter needle for the rest of the hat. And you see the little motifs, I guess you could call it. And I did those, it's with a cable needle. So it's kind of like a cable. And I really love it. And I think, so it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. And I think that the Gro pattern, there's some socks that have this pattern on it. And I think there's other items, which I can't think off the top of my head. But I think there's a few other items or patterns that have this motif on them. So there it is. And I love it. And the yarn is not actually, it's not a particularly soft yarn, but once it's been blocked and everything, it's nice. It's a bit softer, but it's got the wool, the 65% wool, so you can definitely feel that, even with the alpaca. I just keep looking at it. I love it. So that's it. Those are my finished objects. So now we will go to works in progress. So let's see, where should I start? So all of this is knitting, except for I do have one crochet whip to show you. So should I start with, no, I'm going to leave the crochet one to last because it's kind of a big one. Well, you'll see. So the first one I'll show you is a hat. A knit hat, and it's living in this bag, this cute little bag. It's got a drawstring, and this is from Lantern Moon, the bag. And this hat is the Musselburgh hat. The Musselburgh hat, and I'll put a picture of it in here to show you. And let's see, I think I showed this on my last video, but I had just started it. I think I did. No, okay, so I remember. So I was going to use, and I'll show you that in a minute. Maybe I'll show you that next. So I was making the Musselburgh hat with this yarn. With this yarn. This is by Bumblebee Acres, and I've started a new pattern with this yarn, so ooh, look at how bright that is. I'll get into all the yarn details when I show you that. But I had started to make the Musselburgh hat with this yarn, and I didn't like the way it was turning out, so I went ahead and frogged it, and I started a new hat, with new yarn. So you haven't seen this. Hold on one sec. And so here it is. This is what I have done so far. So the hat, it starts off top down. So let's see if I can show you. So it starts off top down, and then you knit and knit and knit and knit until the size required, or the length required for your size. And then you close the bottom up just to look like this. And then it is like a double thickness hat that it folds in on itself. And so that's essentially the hat. And it's a paid for pattern that I will link below. So I'm much happier with this yarn for this hat. I'm much happier. Very happy. And so the yarn that I'm using, here it is, what I have left so far. And this is Yarnable by Hypnotic Yarns. I was getting this subscription last year. And so here's their label. And this is the Born to Stand Out colorway. This is on the plush sock base. It is 85/15 superwash merino nylon, 437 yards for 100 grams. Excuse me. And the needles I'm using are a 3mm needle. The last Musselburgh hat that I made, I used a 3.25mm, and I kind of thought the stitches, I didn't love how the stitches were looking, so I went down a needle size, and I like this much better. So there's that works in progress, and I'm really happy with it. I love pink. I love all colors, but I have to say, I think pink is probably one of my favorite colors, which is odd because I'm not extremely girly. I'm not a girly girl, not really, and I don't wear a lot of pink, but when the yarns that I kind of go towards, a lot of them seem to be pink. So there's that works in progress. And then, so if you watched the last video that I did, you saw the Bumblebee Acres yarn that I was making into the Musselburgh hat, and I decided it would be better suited for socks, and a lot of you commented and agreed with me, and so that is what I did. I started a pair of socks with the yarn, and this is where I am so far. That looks much better. The when I was knitting the hat, it really pooled, and I can't say that pooling bothers me, always bothers me. I guess sometimes it does. I just didn't like the way it was pooling, and I also thought it just, I don't know, didn't really think it would, I just didn't like how it was turning out and didn't think I would wear it or anybody else would. So, but these look much better. I love how it's striping on the sock, on the smaller circumference. So there is the sock, and I am using, and this is a learning curve for me. Do I have them? Yes. So I am using, as you might be able to tell, Haya Flyers, which are 3 needles. This is the package they come in. They're Haya Sharps, and they're the Haya Flyers. Oh, hang on one sec. All of a sudden, I get around the yarn and I start to, I can feel it. So the Haya Sharps, the Flyers, and here, and this is, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get used to using these. Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. I had to cough. Oh, I couldn't avoid it. So anyway, getting back to the sock, here it is. And yeah, so I'm using the Haya Flyers, and they were not cheap, and I want to get used to using these needles considering how much I paid for them. But it is a learning curve, and I looked up the Crazy Sock Lady, Kay. If you want to knit socks, she has a tutorial for everything, any which way, any way that you could think of to knit socks. She has a tutorial for them. So she has a tutorial on Haya Flyers, and I thought, because I was knitting along, you know, and I thought, it's just so uncomfortable. I didn't know if she had any tips, and the thing she said was you're going to have to knit a few socks before you kind of really figure out what's comfortable for you, how to hold them. So I'm going to keep going with these. It is like a Halloween yarn, isn't it? But I'm going to keep going with these to try and get used to the needles. It's a struggle right now. I'm very slow on these, but I love how they're turning out. So the needles, they are 2.25mm needle, and I knit my socks cuff down. I cast on 64 stitches, and I do a 2x2 rib for 15 rounds. And let's see, yep. And so I'm going to do an afterthought heel for these. So I've placed my markers where I want to put my heel, right there. So there it is. And the yarn, it is a Bumblebee Acre yarn. Looks so bright. It is bright, but it's like a little bit blowing out because of the light. So here is their label. And this is on their squishy sock base. Is superwash 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 463 yards. And this is, the colorway is the Goblet of Fire. It's Harry Potter inspired. So there it is. Oh, I didn't show you the bag. Here's the bag that they're living in. And this is by April 9 Designs, which I can't believe, and I love bags. I have right there that is full of bags, that whole tote. Plus I have all my whips. I have a lot of bags, but I had not heard of April 9 Designs on Etsy. I can't even believe it. My daughter got me this for Christmas, and now, oh, I love her bags. So I'll be getting more in the future. So it's living in that bag. And that is that, works in progress. So I'll just say this. A lot of people say that this is these high flyers. Also, I have the Addy. I tried the Addy ones. What are they? I can't think of the Addy ones, what they're called. But they say it's like a cross between double DPNs and Magic Loop. And I feel like they remind me of 9-inch circulars. It's like DPNs and 9-inch circulars. Not so much magic. I'm getting the 9-inch circular vibe off of them. So, but this is, oh, it's so lovely, this yarn. I'm going to keep at it because these are expensive needles. I should use, they were like $25. So I'm going to give it a good old, I'm going to see if I can get used to it and use the needles. Okay. Alrighty, what's next? So, okay, so this is another pair of socks. And it's living in this bag by Molly Klein Designs. And let's see, this is, it's just a vanilla sock. And this is the first sock. I have, all I have left to do is the heel. And that's where I'm going to put the heel. So here's the first sock. And same thing, vanilla sock, 2x2 rib, 64 stitches. And then I knit until, until I decrease for the toe and do a Kitchener stitch. And I usually decrease until I have 14 stitches on each needle, and then Kitchener them together. And this is the second sock. This is the second sock, how far I've gotten. And I'm using DPNs for these. I'm usually a Magic Loop sock knitter, but I've been liking the DPNs. So there we go. And the DPNs are 2.25. And I've got my, oops, let's see, well, it doesn't matter. So I've got my heel, placing it in there, right there. And this is a Patton's Croy yarn. And let's see, here are the two yarns that I'm using. And the main part of the sock, this yarn here is called, actually, I don't really know. Oh, gosh. I can't remember which sock is which. That doesn't even have a name on it. I think it's Northern Lights. But anyway, it's Patton's Croy socks. And it is a 50 gram skein of yarn, 166 yards, 75% wool, 25% nylon. And it's classified as a number 1, but it's a pretty thick number 1. You can see the sock compared to the other one. This looks a little bit bigger. These are not, I don't find these very easy to knit with this yarn. There's not a lot of stretch in it. And it's just, but I will say that my favorite socks to wear are these patent Croy socks. They're so comfortable, but they're not as, it's tougher to knit this yarn. But I do love the colors of these. I do, and I'm pretty sure I got this yarn at Hobby Lobby. So, and I decided to do a contrasting cuff, and that's with this yarn, and I think this yarn is called Saltwater. So the toe, or sorry, not the toe, the heel, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do this color for the heel, or if I'm just going to carry on using the yarn and do like a bullseye look. I'm not sure yet. Excuse me. I haven't really decided yet. I was going to say something and now I forgot. I can't remember. So anyway, so those are these socks. I was going to say, oh, I know what I was going to say. So I use I have two 50-gram skeins of this, and I use one for each sock so I can get them to match. It's easier. So here's the other one. So I'll have quite a bit of the yarn left over because I like to do shorty socks. So there's that. And let's see. And the next one is my last knitting works in progress. And it's living in this bag. This is by Nomadic Yarns, and it's a Harry Potter bag. It's Diagon Alley, all the shops. And this is my Stephen West shawl. It's the Aurora Cabin shawl, and I'll put a picture up here for it for you to see. And let's see. And I will link the pattern down below. So let's see. I am, I've made some progress on it. So here it is. I don't know. So here it is. Here's what I have done so far. So the last time I showed it, I was here, and so I've done all of that. And I think there's already nearly 300 stitches on the needles. And I think when you get to the end of when the shawl's all said and done, when it's over, there's going to be like 1,000 stitches on it. So here it is. And these are my colors. And my progress keeper, that is from Charmed and Dangerous. It's a little turtle. Oh, so there it is. And there's my progress so far. It's hard to show. And let's see, the yarns, I'm just going to go through. I don't know if I remember all the names. But I'm using a Knit Picks yarn. It's palette fingering weight. And it is 231 yards, 50 grams. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And it's a #1. Let's see. It's not. So this is, because it's 100% wool, you can feel it. But I know when you wash it up, it washes up really nice. I love the colors. I don't know if I can remember all the names of the colors off the top of my head. So I know that is Conch, that pink color. Let's see. The red is Garnet Heather. And this here is Cornmeal. The blue is Spruce. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the gray is The gray is Hair Heather. So there's 5 colors in the shawl. And I'm using a, let me just look on the pattern. What needles? Where's the, I'm pretty, 3.5 millimeter. My Hi-Hi's interchangeables. I love Hi-Hi's. They're my favorite needles. They're not for everybody, but I love them. So there we go. There is that. So this will get done in time. It's, you know, there's a lot. So this is a bit of a relief. But this right here, that's, you know, it isn't difficult at all, but, you know, you have to pay attention, and, you know, it doesn't go by fast. Like, this is a bit of a relief right here to do this. So there's that. And yeah, I would, as long as I get it done this year, I'll be happy. But it's not going to be like, you know, I won't have it done in a month, I don't think, unless like that's pretty much all I worked on. And then my last works in progress is a crochet works in progress, and it's living in this bag that my daughter got for me for Christmas, one of my daughters. It's just a lovely bag. And this is a blanket that I am making. And it is the Faith blanket. I'll put a picture in, by Helen Shrimpton. And let's see, it is a free pattern on her website. I'll link that down below. And there are also there's also video tutorials on YouTube to help you. So this is what I have so far. And let's see, the last time I showed it, I was here. See the progress keeper? So I've done all of that. So here it is. And this pattern and the yarn was gifted to me. Oh, I won this in a giveaway by Helen from Crochet Moments. And yeah, so I won the yarn and the pattern. Well, the pattern is free, but she bought this yarn specifically for this pattern because she does a blanket along every year on Instagram, and this was the prize for entering into that. And all of this yarn is Stylecraft Special DK. Here's the label. Here is the label. This is 100% premium acrylic, and there are 322 yards. I believe it's 100 grams. It's a DK, well, yeah, 100 grams, and it is a, yes, Stylecraft Special DK, so it's a DK. Let's see. So let's see. I don't know. I'm not going to remember all the colors. I don't want to get all the yarn out, but here we go. So this is white. This is, let's do it this way. This is fondant, this darker pink. This is white. This is candy floss. And this one is silver. And this one is gray. This one, did I say, is wisteria. And this one is meadow. So those are the colors. Those are the colors, and I love it. I really, really love it. And it makes me want to do, a lot of people on YouTube are doing the Sophie's Universe. So after I finish this, whatever that will be. I think I would like to do that blanket next. Just lovely. Thank you, Helen. I'm loving it. And I'm not a massive blanket person, but this so far doesn't feel like a blanket. So there it is. And that is all my works in progress. And then I have just one little bit of acquisitions to share with you. And that is a skein of yarn I got. And this is from Mustache Yarns, which is my latest obsession for self-striping yarn. And this was, she was having Valentine colorways. And so I was good. I only got one. And here it is. Look at this. And I think this is something like, does it say on here? It doesn't say. But I thought there was something like, I can't remember now, like 20 odd stripes in it or something. Maybe more. Maybe it was, I don't know. We'll see when I knit it up. But here it is. So this is it's actually 2 skeins of yarn wound together, 250 grams. And that way it's a perfect match. When you wind them up, you can end up with 250 gram skeins. And so that way you get a perfectly matching pair of socks. So it is in the colorway Be Mine. And it's the perfect self-striping socks, must match skeins, 2 identical skeins twisted together. It's fingering, sock weight, 75/25, superwash merino wool nylon, and it's 460 yards. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, yes. So that is my one and only acquisition. And that is all of my works in progress and my finished objects. Thank you all for sticking around. If you're still here, I appreciate it very much. Not a whole lot has been going on. My daughter, whose apartment got flooded at Christmas, or just at New Year's. It was like, was it not New Year's Eve? Or it was like, I think it was December 30th, something like that. Maybe it was I don't know. It was around then. She'd been staying with me. Well, they have found a house to live in, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So I'm happy for her. So I kind of miss them. It was nice having them in the house. But they have found a beautiful home to live in. So that's exciting for them. And I still see my grandson and her all the time, at least twice a week. So, you know, I still get to see them. But it was nice having them in the house. And I've told everybody this, I really liked in the mornings, I would hear them getting ready in the mornings, and I loved it. I really loved it, you know, getting ready for school and that. So I miss that, but that's okay. It's not like she's all the way in Florida like my other daughter, and my daughter from Florida will be coming home for spring break on February 28th. So that's exciting. So they'll be home. So we'll all be together. That'll be wonderful. And that's about it. Everything else, it's been raining here. Oh my goodness, it needs to stop raining. We had 75-degree weather yesterday, and now it's like 50 out. So, but that's okay. I just want it to stop raining. I don't even care if it's cold. Just please stop raining. So that's it, guys. I keep saying that, and then I keep mumbling on, but I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And again, I will say it again all the time. I'll try to be more consistent. I'll try my best, but if I don't, I apologize in advance. Life gets in the way. So you all have a great weekend, and hopefully I will see you soon. And until then, bye for now.